Hi. So in some kind of nice Christian zeal, but beer guzzling joker. That's what they call Jesus. That one's. Um, he's pretty cool. Legendary. I made a really intolerably drunken video, and some nice person wrote to me loads, and I'm sorry that I deleted the video, and one or two people liked it, but you weren't wrong. It was a lot of mumbling, and to get to points very quickly. So this is going to be less mumbling. There's only beer 2 or 3, and a little more conversation, a little more action, please. So these are very two typical types of guitars that you'll find. You notice that one has a weird kind of old tremolo-y synchronized bridge, and it goes in under around behind the guitar, and there's springs that kind of tighten this and loosen this tension on this thing here. So it gives us, the Stratocaster actually has this really nice harmonic ring about it when it's set up nice, and the pickups don't vibrate, and it really chimes and can sound very nice. But people know you don't really need to have this complicated, synchronized, mad, wacky, spring-loaded thing at the back of your guitar to have an acoustic guitar. You just got a bridge, you got the bullet holes, and you got the saddle, and it sounds grand. So these are other types. You might know them if you're interested in this video. I don't need to tell you too much about them. This one has no purpose whatsoever, really, unless you want to do like a wraparound. The height, you can change the height with these big screws. It'll make a bit of a difference on the tension. So changing these heights, but that's very sensitive stuff. This, however, you noticed, has a height. These things turn here with the screws, and they also have these little teeth here that you're supposed to screw in. This could be on backwards. I'm not sure. But see the way I said, like I said in the video yesterday, there's tree hatched and tree hatched. But if you look at the line that I have there, there's not much in the like the line is going from the bite. There's tree forward and tree backwards on these Epiphones, which is weird. I just noticed that actually now. So they have 3 of these bridges going forward and 3 of them going backwards. Again, these could be upside down. I might have them backwards. It's a funny thing about Epiphones that people set them up all weird. Or Les Pauls. So when I was saying yesterday in this video about latitude and longitude, this is here as well. So you have the height. So if you're getting fret buzz when your strings don't. Now people like low action, but I really, really just recommend you have to get your guitar to have no fret buzz. You have to go through every fret, ding, 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 and if you hear it buzz, 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 you just have to hire it. So this is a very generic type of heighting, where see on this synchronized thing, you can hire each of these strings individually. This is when you can only just hire like 1 or 2 bridge, like a bridge. So you can only actually hire like elevate or lower. So people like the strings when they're low and close to the fretboard because they're cozy and easy to play, but then you get loads of fret buzz, and I had that on this guitar for a long time, and I didn't care. But then when you start to actually ring out a note, or Joe Bonamassa really rings out, like it's just such a difference when a note is really ringing, other than this like grungy kind of it still has a tone to it. So yeah, so these have that same potential of latitude and longitude, as I'm saying. So height for fret buzz, the clean notes of every note. You got every string, every single string, bing, 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 bing. That one's a dud. Yeah, you're just gonna have to hire it more and get it to when you have notes all over your fretboard, just because where you want notes, and just get cozy with it, and the guitar will slowly mold to it. There are techniques as well that I could tell you about. They're not advisable because your gut switch and your gut switch here will get in the way. But what I like to do a lot of the time, I demonstrate this, is the Joe's guitar. It's tough love. It is tough love, but I've fixed up loads of guitars in my time, and people will say, oh my god, that's so cozy, the way you have it playing. You kind of give it a Thai massage. Yeah, you kind of give it like a gentle Thai massage. And you actually need to work it down. And it's tough love. It's dodgy. It's like, standing on my neck. Because I had that before with police standing on my neck. But you need to gently just pressure. Gentle Thai massage of little Thai girl standing on your back. again, the gut switches will get in the way of that plane. So if you had no gut switch, there are no knobs, it would just kind of be the bridge to the nut, and then kind of standing on the neck in between and pressure kind of makes sense because you're straightening out, massaging. But again, gut switches and things will get in the way from your Thai guitar massage. So yeah, latitude and longitude, and I gave some weird advice yesterday about getting an old broken E string and measuring from 12. And so measuring 12 is supposed to be exactly halfway. So when you hit harmonics, as in like you just rest your finger gently on the string and pluck it, it'll make a ping. And that ping, this is what is funny, it's fucking hilarious. I recommended getting a string like a little caveman and measure the distance. Will I do it, Andrew? Measure the distance from the nut to 12 and take that distance and bring it over here. See, that's out of perspective here, way out of perspective, sorry. But take that distance and bring it over here so it's the same distance to that point, and that's why you can adjust these. What are we saying? Latitudes, longitudes. That's why you can adjust these to that. What is it? 7 millimeters or something. So you can adjust these, and the only difference that these are supposed to have in this slant is, I said density yesterday, I mean the thickness of the string. So this distance closer forward is only supposed to be closer forward with respect of how thicker this string is to that string. So because these 3 strings are wound, these 3 strings are not. It's very typical or generic that you see these 3 a little forward, shuffled up a little closer, or backwards. I don't know. That is backwards. I can tell that's backwards. I just realized now that is totally supposed to go the other way. But again, you can change these too as well. And you can do that the same with, so I'm not going to move, I'm just going to drag this baby up on top of this. Oh, they're spooning. You can change the heights with using these weird little wobbly screw legs of each of these. And then you can change the distance again of the entire string with these screws here. And again, I gave this really silly method of using a string to exactly measure 12 and 12, because ideally or mathematically it's supposed to be 12 and 12, but these aren't ideal or mathematical. These are they're weird instruments, and you're dealing with very sensitive harmonics. So I was just redoing it today, and I was trying to use my string method because I was too drunk yesterday to even do it myself, let alone make a video, and it wasn't working. I did this the E string, like I said, I did 12 to 12, and I hit it, and I hit the 12 harmonic, and it was just bum. Bum notes, it was just dull and crap, and the harmonics sounded dull, lazy, and crap. So I started, and this is a bad thing about this, I'm trying to save you some grief. If you start tightening up your strings, testing something out, and loosening your strings, it's kind of healthy for the string, but it just makes them rubbery, a bit more rubbery sooner. It's the same about skateboards, tearing things in and out. You just break them trying to try new things. So the less you kind of do mess around anyway, hopefully the better. So I'm just telling you to be really good, really quick, basically. So yeah, that was silly, that string method, to be honest. And it's a very eureka moment. See, that's the harmonic there I'm talking about. Boom, boom. I found is just, don't tune the string up all the way, leave it kind of loose. Just like that. And test the 12. And to your ear or tuner. You can use a tuner if you want. And this is not going to be tighter or looser. This is a harmonic balance. So this is going to be somewhere in between. And you want it just a 12, or the 12 fret. So I started today to tighten and loosen this and test it out a bit to get the balance right without using a string. Because the string doesn't work. It's like, oh my God, just use the noise or sound itself. So just to make sure you got exactly 12 to 12, like if I've got another string there, it's kind of, see, it's not to tune, but, and make sure it does sound like the same note, the exact same note, 12 to 12, 0 to 12. And then try and test your harmonics to see do they work cosily as well. So yeah, there's a bit of a Rubik's Cube about it, but I was just talking, again, this is about setting up bridges. And I thought it was silly yesterday that I gave this very outdated example of a 50 Stratocaster that nobody even uses these kind of tremolo systems or these bridge systems really anymore. And I didn't even talk about this, where this is probably much more interesting to the modern guitars, where you have these little screws here. I think they're flathead as well. And you're supposed to turn those and gauge those. And it makes the biggest difference in the world. You'll be amazed. Your guitar will chime and sing and hit harmonics. And Wes Borland probably knows how to do this really good. Wes Borland builds his own guitars. Yeah. Yeah. This is a cool little guitar, to be honest. This always was great. They're both from Germany. Yeah. I have a friend in Germany that gives me everything I want. Yeah. And that's why I'll take Belgium as well. No, it's a mine. Sorry. Yeah. So that was just my advice on setting up bridges. Just a latitude and a longitude. The latitude, we'll say, the height, the latitude will solve for fret buzz, and you need every fret. Oh yes, we'll need every fret to play smoothly with no bonky bonk, or fizz, buzz. And then your harmonic and is a really important thing. Like if you had a guitar that wasn't set up and you're trying to do like Kirk Hammett solos, you're playing loads in E, and the second you start soloing up in this part here, it sounds waffle crapping out of tune. Like because it's not set to your 12 to 0, your E to E, or your octave to your octave. So that's why setting those little things, tiny micro distances, make the tiniest massive difference. And again, just on anyone, I don't know, again, this is a 50s replica or 50s reissue. So these probably haven't been modernized. But these spindly little screw legs, these little lamb legs, again, like I said in the video yesterday, but I've deleted it. You want them perpendicular as possible. Perpendicular, strong, and well grounded. So I was thinking a little rubber or something on the bottom of them would help them ground them more. Because just like you can, so like they look like tubes like this, a lot of them are going to be crooked like this. All of them actually. It's really hard to kind of get them nice and get them settled. You want them all as grounded as possible, and it sings. When they're not grounded, those little loose teeth, and they are kind of loose and wobbly and flimsy, like little lamb's legs, when they are on their side, it sounds crap. Absolutely crap. The guitar sounds woeful. It sounds nasally, and you can hear it when I'm even winding up. It's like, no, just stop and start again and go back. No, it's not grounded. I get a little toothpick in, a little wooden toothpick. Again, I haven't got much hands there. And I wiggle them around, and I just jiggle them about and push them in, try and push them out. But they're very hard to kind of, again, this is an old model, so they probably have made something newer. But when they're on crooked legs like that, they're crap. And then when they're grounded, nicely grounded in, oh my God, it sings. And that's why my guitar sounds better than yours. Better than yours. I don't know, I'm sorry, I do that Nietzsche. That's what it was called, Nietzsche. Nobody would ever talk to Nietzshe, so he just starts saying, like, I'm so much better than everyone, trying to provoke them. And it's like, why do I write better books than everybody? And it's because nobody would write back to him. He just started trying to piss it out. Why am I so much smarter? That's why nobody talks to me. I was like, I have the last word on everything. And I complain about the lack of conversation in my life. And another thing about you can probably realize, but you can raise and lower your pickups and mess around with pickups, but raise and low, sorry. It doesn't really change sound. It changes the volume, the reception that you're going to get closer or distance. And it's nice to set a comfortable distance and check out different distances. You will drop a screw. It kind of gets looser as it gets tighter. But checking out different distances. And I said in the video before this about my setup, it's like I like to hatch the fucking pickups. It sounds great. I tried to make them slanted and jagged because they just receive better for some reason, shining off on one side. When they're flat, they displace loads of electromagneticity or something. I can't remember. I used to have these ones that were really close, and they're smooth. See, you kind of want it smooth, like equidistance. See the way that one goes, kind of smooth. But you can get them closer. They're just more sensitive and louder. Anyway, that's enough waffle for 14-15 minutes. Probably more concentrated than the other one. The person did ask me, it's like, I really like your videos, and I like the way you kind of just mumble and ramble, and it's kind of like your style. But at the same time, I'd really like to know what you're saying. Sometimes it might be useful if I could actually know what you're saying. But thanks anyway. And thanks for the pig scraping advice. I never will do really pig scrapes. They wreck your plex. They put these teeth mark in your plex down the side, and pig scratching is the worst. I was told was to go from there and slide it into that. No, he's still there. My idea on pick scraping was you have to kind of tilt the pleck as you go. I can't do it at all, but you have to kind of keep it kind of perpendicular at an edge and kind of go move. You have to kind of move it as you go. Oh, it's the biggest joke. Wow. Nobody pick scrapes anymore. I blame that Eddie Van Halen lad all his cheap, all his tricks. Yeah, but they're off. Does anybody? I can't believe it. I don't know. I'm gonna break my balls here. It's just atonal squabble and after atonal squabble, and it's entertaining. It's jumping from here. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna make or may not make many friends. Slash is a great guitarist, you know. Make many friends talking bad about the rocket scientist piano playing drummer that isn't a guitarist. Anyways, okay, all right, and let it go. If there's anything you want to know more about it, well, I was asked about the pickups and stuff. There's nothing really important to say there. Any questions about bridges or anything? I think I covered it kind of all. Yeah, don't neglect them. That's what I'm saying. Don't neglect them. It makes a world of difference. It's like in skateboarding. If you neglect your bushings or you neglect your things, it's just makes such a difference. Such an amazing difference. And your guitar playing become better. And you won't be afraid of the higher strings either. When your higher strings work and they're fairly tonal and they're connected, you're not afraid really to go up around there and solo about because it doesn't sound absolutely flat or crap. I'm gonna go. Peace out, hippies. Hopefully I help. All Christian spirits, yeah, and all zeal.